The only thing that counts is faith. We could stop there and saying, okay, yes, I believe that, amen. But he says faith expressing itself through love. There it is again. The only thing that counts is faith expressing itself through love. In other words, you can't just say you have faith. You can't just say that you're a Christian without expressing it through love. Jesus said, love one another. You can say you're a Christian. You can attend church. You can do all the right things, do all the acceptable things that Christians are supposed to do. Be a good person, be a good Christian. All these things, practice all these things that a good Christian is supposed to do. But Paul said the only thing that counts is faith that expresses itself through love of one another. Man, this is the mandate of our church. This is what's been in the Bible the whole time. And I think for me, growing up in church, I heard lots of messages on love. And to be honest, it never really resonated with me, never really stuck with me. I was like, love, okay, love is easy. Until, just in the last couple of years, we started to see, COVID has highlighted a number of things. The political tensions have highlighted a number of things. And I was like, wow, this really is God's mandate for the church. This is how we be different. This is how we're supposed to be different. And we can't just say, well, come to church and be a Christian and your life's going to get all better. That's not what Christianity is. According to Paul, the only thing that counts is a faith that expresses itself through loving one another. That's not easy. That's definitely not easy. So we want to be a church that counts, don't we? We want to be a church that matters, that counts. And the only way to do that is to be a church that expresses itself through loving all. Now, taking this a little bit further, you can't express love without sacrifice. Look what Paul said in Ephesians chapter 5. He said this. He said, follow God's example. That's what Jesus said, love as I have loved you. Follow God's example. Therefore, as dearly loved children, and walk in the way of love. So we follow God's example. And what would Jesus do? Remember those bracelets? I grew up with those bracelets. What would Jesus do? Yeah, Jesus said, if you're going to do what I do, just follow. And Paul said, just follow his example as through the way of walking the way of love. Just as Christ loved us, what Jesus said, and gave himself up for us as a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. So this is what Paul says. This is how we love like Jesus loved. This is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to walk like that. Now, he's not saying that we're all supposed to be crucified or that we're all supposed to die, and sacrifice our lives, physically for one another. He says, although be willing to do that if necessary, all that. But he's saying that love is the only faith that counts is expressed through love. And then he's saying that the Jesus kind of love is there's always sacrifice involved to it. And this is how you express love. This is how we as Parallel Church express love. Because here's the truth, is what you love, what you truly love, you will sacrifice for. Isn't that right? If you love your family, you will sacrifice for your family. If you love your job, you will sacrifice for your job. You will make concessions, you will sacrifice for that. If you love, football, yes, then you will sacrifice. Yeah, if you love ice cream, yeah, I've made a few sacrifices on behalf, if whatever it is you love, you will sacrifice for. That is the expression of love, is that you cannot have, you can't just say, love, Paul says is faith that matters and faith that counts is going to be expressed through love, and the expression of love is going to be reflected in your sacrifice. The reason why I bring this up is because Jesus modeled that. He loved us, and so he sacrificed himself to God. This is what Paul's saying in Ephesians, for us. And this expression of love is what identifies authenticity.